Can I ask you a question? If I asked you exactly how much debt your partner was in, would you know? Would they know yours? Because the reality is, so many couples share a house, they share bills, maybe even share children, but they don't actually share their finances. And honestly, we get it. Talking about money can feel awkward. It can even feel uncomfortable sometimes. It can feel embarrassing. But for us, learning to have those uncomfortable conversations has completely changed our marriage.
So if you're tired of money conversations turning into arguments, if you're wondering why the topic of finances always seems to create friction in your relationship, or if you've simply never known how to talk about money as a couple, then you're exactly the couple who needs to hear this. We've been together for 8 years now and married for 2.5 years. And over the last 7 months together, we've paid off over £22,000 of debt, and we are now debt free.
So if you're new here, welcome. We're Bern and Joseph, a young married couple from London who are on a journey to become financially free, build wealth and create the future that we've always dreamed about. Neither of us grew up learning about money. No one taught us how to budget, how to invest, or how debt actually works, or how married couples manage money together.
So this channel isn't about pretending we've got life figured out. Hell no. It's about documenting the journey whilst we're living it. So if you're trying to become better with money, build wealth, or simply improve communication in your relationship, keep watching.
So I think the first thing we should talk about is transparency. Because if we're completely honest, this wasn't easy. Like, I still remember the day we sat down and listed every single debt in June 2025, babe. Do you remember?
I remember, honestly.
Neither of us knew what that total was going to be. And when we added it all together, it was over 22k. Like, babe, what was going through your head?
I was like, since when did we accumulate that?
Like, we looked at it and we were like, this is what we're facing. Like, it felt overwhelming, but weirdly it also felt freeing, because for the first time there were no more secrets.
Yeah, and I think that's something we don't talk about enough, especially as men. Growing up, you're often told that you're supposed to be the provider. You're supposed to have everything under control. You're supposed to protect your family and have all the answers. In many Black, especially African households, that expectation can feel even stronger, because culturally, there's often a huge emphasis on being able to provide for your family and your future. So when you're struggling financially, it can feel easier to stay quiet than to admit that you're finding things difficult. You don't want to disappoint anyone. You don't want people to think that you failed.
Yeah, and I completely understand why someone would feel like that. But here's the thing, marriage isn't about carrying those burdens on your own, guys. It's about carrying them together. For us, transparency wasn't about exposing each other's weaknesses. It was about saying, whatever you're facing, we're facing, and we'll face it together.
Exactly. Transparency doesn't create problems. It reveals the problems that already exist. If you're hiding debt, hiding financial stress, or pretending everything is okay, the problem is still there. The only difference is that now you're trying to solve it by yourself, and that's a heavy burden for anyone to carry.
Yeah, and one thing we've realized was that when we finally put everything on the table, there wasn't any judgment, there wasn't any blaming, there wasn't, why did you do that? Instead it became, okay, how do we fix this? We, that key word, we.
Yeah, we genuinely believe that two minds are better than one. So if you're trying to build a future with someone, why would you intentionally leave your biggest financial challenges out of the conversation? You're not doubling your burden. You should be doubling your ability to solve it. My strengths might be different to B's. B might notice solutions that I don't. And together, we make better financial decisions than either of us would make on our own.
Yeah, guys, and research actually backs this up too. Money is consistently one of the biggest sources of conflict in relationship. And surveys in the UK have found that many couples admit to hiding purchases, debt, or financial worries from their partner. That kind of financial secrecy sometimes is called financial infidelity. This can slowly damage trust, even when the intention was simply to avoid worrying the other person. For us, we wanted the opposite. We wanted honesty over appearances and peace over pretending.
If you're hiding your finances from your partner, why? Is it fear, pride, embarrassment, or is there something deeper that needs to be talked through? Because if this is the person you've chosen to build your life with, they should also be the person you can be honest with. Not because they'll fix every problem, but because they'll walk through those problems with you. I wanted to deliver that one like a pastor.
Yeah, I feel like you were talking to somebody. Yeah, talking to somebody. I said, oh, he's getting it. Yeah, and without that level of transparency, I honestly don't think we would have paid off over 22,000 in 7 months. Not because we suddenly earned loads more money, but because once everything was out in the open, we stopped fighting the problem separately and we started fighting it together.
So here is our money flow explained. One thing that really helped simplify our finances was giving every pound a job before we spent it. So here is a visual of what our money flow looks like. First, our salaries come in. From there, we transfer what needs to go into our joint account, which is where all of our shared household expenses come from. Things like rent, utilities, food, insurance, anything like that benefits both of us. Once our joint and personal bills are covered, our next priority is building our emergency fund. Our goal is to have 6 months worth of essential living expenses saved, because life is always going to happen. We'd rather be prepared than rely on debt. After that, we focus on investing in our future, whether that's investing in ourselves, our businesses, our long-term wealth building. We're always thinking about how today's decisions can benefit us tomorrow. And finally, we each have our own personal spending money. This means we can enjoy buying things we like without guilt or needing to ask each other for permission, because we've already planned it in for our budget.
Yeah, and that's the biggest takeaway. We don't wait to see what's left at the end of the month. We tell our money where to go at the beginning of the month. So every pound has a purpose. So we also have regular conversations about money. We don't actually do formal monthly meetings. Instead, I would say we now talk more openly and regularly about money. Sometimes it's a quick chat in the evening. Sometimes it's going through our expenses together. Sometimes it's just checking in on where we're at. So we do have our quarterly Jet to Success meetings, and funny enough, this is where our channel name actually came from. So during these meetings, we discuss our individual goals, our joint goals as a couple, financial, personal, educational, and also discuss our budgets. We list all of our expenses, our current income, joint and as individuals,
and future holiday plans, for B's sanity.
Exactly, for my sanity. But I guess these meetings are just whereby we check in with each other and we see over the quarter how we're doing and forecasting sort of what we want to do over the next quarter as well.
So we also have a joint account for household expenses. That helps us with things like rent, food, utilities, insurance. Anything we both benefit from comes from one place.
Yeah, and we feel like it just removes so much confusion. Like, babe, I thought you paid for that. No, I forgot. Just everything has a home, comes from one place. Super easy. Yeah, like we mentioned before, one thing we're working really hard on building is our emergency fund, which will amount to 6 months worth of our monthly expenses. We've discussed this before because, guys, life always is going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Cars break, phones stop working, unexpected expenses happen. Having an emergency fund means those situations become inconveniences, not financial disasters.
Okay, so this is probably the question that we get asked the most. Do you have to ask permission before buying things? The answer is no.
Absolutely not. We each have our own spending money. So if B wants to buy something, she can. If I want to buy something, I can, because we've already planned for it. Because we've already agreed the boundaries beforehand, there's no resentment afterwards.
Yeah, so next is our businesses. Our businesses are financially separate, but they're never separate in conversation.
Even though our businesses are separate, the decisions still affect our future, because we're still building it together. Now, we do want to say something really important. We're not saying this is the only way married couples should manage money.
No.
Every relationship is different.
So why does it work, you may ask? Firstly, alignment. One thing we realize quite quickly is that if you're not having regular money conversations, you're probably building two different futures.
Exactly. Imagine one person wants to save for a house, the other wants to travel every month. One wants to start a business and the other wants a new car. None of those goals are wrong, but unless you actually talk about them, you're rowing in two different directions.
Now, whenever we make financial decisions, we always ask, does this move us closer to the life we're trying to build? And honestly, sometimes the answer is no. Like, sometimes we actually have to tell ourselves, not right now. Not because we can't afford it, but because we'd rather have something bigger later. Delayed gratification, guys.
And this is something we had to live out in real life. Last year in 2025, there were a few family holidays that came up. Trips we genuinely would have loved to go on. Trips that, if we're honest, we probably could have made work.
Yeah.
But when we looked at our goals at the time, paying off debt, getting financially stable, building a better future, those holidays didn't align with what we were trying to achieve. So we said no, and it wasn't easy, because saying no to experiences, especially with your family, can feel like you're missing out.
Yeah, and I agree. I think there were definitely times where I'd say I struggled a little bit more, wanting to continue the same habits that clearly got me there in the first place. And I'll be honest, there were times where I thought, can we just go on the holiday? Can we not just go and deal with it when we get back?
I mean, there were times where I had to say, not yet, B.
But honestly, Babe was so patient with me, never dismissing how I felt, but reminding me of the benefits of what we were doing for our own futures. But looking back now, that changed everything, because together we stayed aligned and stayed focused. And because of those choices, we're now sitting here completely debt-free.
Yeah, that's the power of alignment. It's not just about agreeing on big dreams. It's about making consistent decisions that support those dreams. Even when it's uncomfortable, even when it means saying no in the short term, so you can say yes to something much bigger later. So next we want to talk about the accountability. One of the benefits of doing this together is that we have become each other's accountability partners. What does that mean? It means we work together and help each other stay accountable, making sure decisions align with our goals, whether those are shared goals or individual ones. Because it's very easy to break promises you've made to yourself. It's much harder to break promises you've made together.
Yeah, and you might be wondering, what does that actually look like for us in real life? Sometimes it's as simple as using him as my sounding board when I'm feeling emotional and I'm about to make a decision that I might regret.
Especially like when I'm half asleep at midnight.
I'm human. It happens, right? Other times it's helping him stay on track with actions that support his goals. And it's also about checking in with each other regularly, making sure that we're both still aligned, making sure that we're both still moving in the direction that we said that we wanted to go.
And it's not about policing each other. That's really important. We're not each other's parents. We're each other's teammates. There's a massive difference there.
Yeah, and that moves us on to the next point, trust. I genuinely think that these conversations have built so much trust between us. There's no wondering where money's gone, hidden debt, no pretending everything's okay when it's not. We're honest, even when it's uncomfortable. And that honesty creates a sense of safety as well. Because when you know your partner is being open with you, you stop second guessing, you stop worrying about what you don't know. Research carried out in the UK by organisations such as Money and Pension Service and Relate has shown that financial transparency is strongly linked to higher relationship satisfaction and lower levels of conflict. So what does this mean in simple terms? Couples who regularly talk about money and make decisions together tend to feel more secure, more aligned, and more confident about their future, while those who avoid financial conversations are more likely to experience tension and mistrust.
And when trust grows, stress reduces because you're no longer carrying financial pressure on your own. You're not lying awake at night trying to figure everything out by yourself. You're sharing the responsibility, the decisions, and sharing the wins too. Why? Because you're not working against each other. You're working as a team. And we believe it does this because shared responsibility creates accountability and consistency.
But I think there's also an important question people need to ask themselves. If you're planning to build a future with someone, buy a home together, raise a family together, why wouldn't you trust them with your finances? Because money touches every part of your life. And if there's a lack of trust in that area, then it can slowly affect everything else.
Trust doesn't mean everything is perfect. It doesn't mean you never make mistakes. It means you're willing to be open, accountable, and honest with each other. And over time, that builds something much stronger than just financial stability. It builds confidence in each other and confidence in the life you're building together. And we believe it does this because trust grows through consistent honesty, not perfection.
And the last point in this section is shared wins. One thing I absolutely love is how we stop thinking in terms of mine and yours.
Yeah, a win for B is a win for me. A win for me is a win for B because we're building one future, not two separate ones.
Whether it's my business growing, his career is progressing, we're both celebrating because every step forward benefits the both of us. Some people keep everything separate. Some people combine absolutely everything. Some do a mixture. There is not one perfect system. This is just what has worked really well for us. So if you're watching this thinking, we've never really spoken about money like that, here's where we'd start.
Number one, have one honest conversation. Forget the spreadsheets, forget the numbers. Start by talking about your dreams and aspirations. Where do you actually want to be in 10 years? Does it align, or do you envision something completely separate?
Number two, create one shared budget. Even if your bank account stays separate, having visibility changes everything. Because when you can clearly see where your money is going, you're no longer guessing, avoiding, or reacting. You're making informed decisions together.
And number three, if it works for you, schedule monthly or periodic money meetings. Or just make finances an open conversation, something that you can talk about openly with each other, so that you both stay aligned on your finances, catch potential issues early, and create consistent space to communicate openly without stress or surprises. Consistency beats intensity every single time. So how do we manage money together, B?
By choosing to be teammates instead of individuals. Simple. And maybe that's why so many couples struggle, because they're trying to manage money separately while building a life together. Listen, we're still learning, we're still growing, we're still making mistakes, but we're building a future that we prayed for together.
And if there's one thing we'd really want you to take away from this video, it's this. Managing money together and financial literacy hasn't just improved our finances, it's actually improved our marriage.
So if you're also on a journey to build wealth, become debt-free, or simply create a better future for your family, we would love you to join us. Hit the subscribe button, because we've got so many videos planned about budgeting, investing, building businesses, and everything we've been learning along the way.
And before you go, what's one financial habit that's made the biggest difference in your life? Or if you're a couple, how do you manage money together? Leave us a comment and we would love to hear it. But with that being said, let's jet to success together, and we will see you in the next one.
Take care, guys.